From PewDiePie exposing the biggest health scam in YouTube's history,
What's the point? What do they do besides charging you?
to Mr. Who's the Boss unmasking a shady tech empire which ended up robbing everyone blind.
If you're going to take the money and not deliver a phone, I don't think a nice read is going to make up for it.
These are the times YouTubers try to warn us. Starting with tech reviewer Mr. Who's the Boss, who placed a target on his back after becoming the first YouTuber to reveal the shady truth behind a deceased drug lord's tech product.
No, this is the Escobar Gold 11, and on top of that, quite possibly the strangest product launch I've seen in my entire life. Why does the official website actively promote the fact that they're associated with a deceased drug lord? Is that meant to be a selling point? Why does it brag about its co-founder being the chief of assassinations? Why is there not a single photo or video of the phone where it's not being used by European models wearing barely any clothes? It's not your typical smartphone.
After questioning Pablo Escobar's family's true motives, Mr. Who's the Boss would then point out a suspicious business move every other tech reviewer had ignored.
Importantly, most of the people who bought the phone didn't get the phone. But they did get something. It seems like every person who ordered an Escobar Fold got sent a book. It is the strangest biography I think I've ever seen. And when I first saw it, I couldn't understand why they bothered sending anything. If you're going to take the money and not deliver a phone, I don't think a nice read is going to make up for it.
And reveal the sinister motive behind their actions.
This book was a decoy. That they did this so that when customers called their banks up to say, my phone hasn't arrived, please get my money back, Escobar could actually say like, no look, check the tracking number, we did deliver something.
But besides this blatant scam, he would also uncover something even more disturbing on the Escobar's website.
I don't think this is money laundering, I just think it's a scam. That would explain why there's no secure payment methods on the site. It would explain why the comment sections are turned off for their YouTube videos. It would explain why they didn't even bother charging shipping on their phone, no matter where in the world you wanted it. There was absolutely no intention of sending the phone.
Just before the video ended, he'd leave a chilling warning to his audience.
The fact is that if you order it, all evidence points to the fact that you're probably not going to receive it. So again, don't buy it.
But while the red flags were obvious, not everyone took his warning seriously until one of the biggest tech reviewers stepped in and shared his side of the story.
There are way too many cases of people not getting their Escobar Fold for me to ever recommend you ever buy anything from this company, so don't.
Despite this, Escobar Inc. would remain in business for 4 more years until its leader Olaf Gustafsson was arrested in 2023 in Spain on charges of money laundering and fraud. With the arrest causing a storm online, Marquez would reveal a secret FBI interrogation he'd kept hidden from his fans.
I went up to the front desk, and sure enough, there's 3 people with badges there, and they walk right up to me and they all like flash their badges, FBI, just like the movies, like FBI agent this, IRS agent this, and they're like, Marquez, good to see you. We've got some questions for you about the Escobar phone.
With the truth finally out and Escobar Inc. in ruins, Mr. Who's the Boss would be praised for his vigilance. But while it took Mr. Who's the Boss 4 years to get the last laugh, political commentator Asmongold would get his in no time. Following a surge of extremist views on Twitch in 2025, streamer Asmongold would make a shocking prediction about Twitch's future.
This rise in extremism and this rise in extremist rhetoric will eventually be very damaging for Twitch. Because eventually somebody will say something, will this be the time? It probably won't be the time. But eventually somebody will say something and it's going to get mainstream attention to a degree that it's going to damage Twitch on a massive level.
But though he didn't mention any names, people immediately suspected that it was aimed at the left-leaning political streamer Hassan Abi, since he was highly critical of his extremist views.
Here, let's talk about our favorite flags.
Oh, like overall, what my favorite flag?
Yeah.
Hezbollah. Look it up.
It was like, oh no, he's doing this. Oh shit.
However, while everyone would move on from Asmongold's warning, things would take a dark turn when, on May 21st, 2025, gunmen opened fire on a couple as they exited the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. He then fled inside the museum, where he was eventually apprehended. But while the world was still mourning the loss, Hassan's reaction to the shooter's actions caught everyone completely off guard.
I think this is just a one dude who is genuine in his actions and maybe
As if that wasn't bad enough, he would also read parts of the shooter's manifesto on stream, a move that shocked many viewers. Worse, another deeply disturbing video would be making the rounds.
There's about $50 billion estimated that are lost every year in Medicaid, just in fraud alone.
If you cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Okay? The reason why I'm saying if you cared about Medicare or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott is because, and not make him a prominent part of the Republican Party, is because he, to this day, is still also known as committing the largest Medicare fraud in U.S. history.
Since this was done on Twitch, it immediately came under fire. Twitch's moderation staff are the kind of people who moderate Reddit. That alone should tell you enough. Twitch deserves what's coming to it. There's no excuse whatsoever for allowing it to get this far. With this, Hassan would get banned, only to be unbanned 24 hours later. But instead of taking accountability, he tried to justify his actions. I covered the motives of the Israeli embassy staff shooter. Twitch terms of service dictates a suspension for even critical examination of the manifesto. I believe this is a bad policy for news and press freedom. I'll take the suspension, but hope Twitch changes its policy in the future. Unsurprisingly, Hassan's attempt to justify himself only made things worse, proving Asmongold right, much like Jacksepticeye, who got hated after warning against MrBeast, only to be vindicated when he got caught up in a series of scandals. In June 2025, MrBeast announced the launch of his new AI thumbnail designer as part of his software, ViewStats.
There's a new way to make professional-looking viral thumbnails with zero Photoshop experience. And the best part is, this new method works in every niche. Whether you do gaming, cooking, beauty, this works for all of them.
MrBeast would then go on to reveal one of its interesting features.
Type in any channel on all of YouTube, and it will use it as inspiration for the thumbnail it's generating.
But what he'd failed to take into consideration was that not everyone was accepting of this controversial move, earning him backlash from the internet. As if that wasn't enough, the internet accused him of stealing elements from popular creators without permission, including using Jacksepticeye's branding as part of the promo, prompting Jack to immediately hit back. What the actual fuck? And he used my logo in the promotion for it too. I hate what this platform is turning into. Fuck AI. Depressing.
And for the prompt,
It's funny it was phrased, it feels like cheating, because it is stealing. Because I mean, yeah, I guess in a way it is cheating. Let's go here.
creating custom results from any channel to literally being able to put your face on a thumbnail.
This is the bad thing.
But the final nail in the coffin came when YouTuber PointCrow uncovered an old tweet where MrBeast accused another channel of stealing his thumbnails by putting their face on it, and now he was advocating the same thing.
Deals with that. He's literally complained about this exact phenomenon while at the same time championing its existence in a tool that he is selling.
MrBeast and Kwebbelkop in the same bed, no way. MrBeast is so fake, it's unreal. Unsurprisingly, this wasn't the first time Jacksepticeye called out MrBeast. Back in 2023, he made a shockingly accurate prediction that brought him a lot of hate at the time.
Do you like MrBeast? No. Jack. Oh! Do you think MrBeast ruined YouTube? Yes. Oh! Now, in all honesty, Jack, why? Because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun.
Jacksepticeye was always right when he said MrBeast ruined YouTube. You warned us, and now everything's coming to light. Within 24 hours of the backlash, MrBeast had deleted everything, released an apology, and replaced the feature with a directory that connects creators to human thumbnail artists. While Jacksepticeye is praised for his prediction, Candace Owen would get hated after calling out JoJo Siwa for faking her sexuality.
I don't believe JoJo Siwa is a lesbian, by the way. I want to state that very clearly.
Given her long history of anti-trans rhetoric and relentless attacks on the LGBTQ community, it's no surprise they immediately came for her. But while the LGBT community was calling for her head, Candace would only double down months later.
All she does now is she speaks about how much of a lesbian she is, just how happy she is to be a lesbian every second of every day. And here's the thing, I've been around lesbians. And people that are lesbians don't feel the need to work it into every sentence all the time unless there's somebody that's really
Forcing JoJo Siwa to finally hit back with a warning. 5
people that I will not be having on JoJo Siwa now. Candace Owens, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Her and I do not f with each other. Homegirl thought that I was faking being a lesbian. What the f are you talking about? How do you know my sexual...
Which fans completely supported. But that would change in April 2025 when she appeared as a guest on Big Brother and revealed a new identity.
JoJo Siwa no longer identifies as a lesbian. This was revealed last night on the Celebrity Big Brother live stream when she was having a conversation with Danny Beard.
I think I've always told myself I'm a lesbian, but I think being here, I realized, oh no, I'm not a lesbian.
And in June 2025, her new boyfriend Chris shared a photo on Snapchat of them in bed together. But while JoJo thought the internet would be welcoming, it wasn't so forgiving. JoJo Siwa gives me Tess Holiday vibes in the sense that she will identify as anything that will get her even a tiny bit of attention. As a gay guy, these situations irk me, because now people will use it to say, see, you can become straight if you meet the right person. To make matters worse, she was accused of coming out on the first day of Pride Month while cheating on her ex-girlfriend, Avery Cyrus. Now, finally vindicated, Candace Owens had this to say.
It's just that I don't buy a lot of the Hollywood acts and I can see through them. And I felt in my heart and in my soul that that was the situation with JoJo Siwa when she was like being a lesbian too hard. Like she just, every time she spoke, it was about being a lesbian. It would be weird if every time I spoke, I was just, I want you guys to know how straight I am, like how heterosexual. Like, I am so heterosexual. I am just the most heterosexual person. You'd probably go, why do I feel like she's not heterosexual? That's how I felt about JoJo Siwa.
Since then, JoJo Siwa's betrayed fans have accused her of queer baiting and faking her sexuality for clout. And she's now being seen as just another influencer chasing views. And even though Candace has a love-hate relationship with the internet, her opinion about JoJo Siwa was pretty accurate. Much like PewDiePie, who tried to warn us about BetterHelp back in 2018 when no one seemed to care.
What's wrong with BetterHelp then? You can have online therapy without leaving your house. You can have therapy at home. That's great. That sounds almost too good to be true. Well, yes.
PewDiePie then backed up his claims by exposing the holes in their business model.
Reach out. BetterHelp also says that we'll find you an online therapist. You just do this quick questionnaire and we'll find the right person for you. But in their terms of service, they also say, we cannot assess whether the use of the counselor is right and suitable for your needs.
Before pointing out something most people found deeply concerning.
What's going on here? The cherry on the top here is that in their terms of service, they can share your data. And anything talking about mental health related, that's really not a problem.
PewDiePie would then end it with a message to other creators.
To be fair, I don't think these YouTubers know what they're promoting. And on the paper, it sounds like a great thing. If you can help people and get paid at the same time, what's wrong with that? I don't think everyone is completely innocent, but I don't think there's any point in faulting anyone too much either.
In the end, BetterHelp was fined $7.8 million by the FTC in 2023 for using user data for advertising without consent, proving PewDiePie right. And while BetterHelp is still in operation, its reputation never fully recovered, making it truly one of the most shocking moments where a YouTuber tried to warn us, but we didn't listen. From predicting the biggest scam in YouTube history,
but there's some shady shit going on. I can't put my finger upon it.
To unmasking a shady influencer project.
$1 million worth of eggs in the first day. And did I mention the game hadn't even been launched yet?
These are the unbelievable times when YouTubers were right all along. Starting with the well-loved YouTuber Markiplier, who would be called a crazy and paranoid influencer for questioning what would eventually be exposed as the biggest scam in YouTube history. In 2019, Markiplier would kick off his stream by questioning the credibility of Honey, a free browser extension that promises to save you money.
But there's some shady shit going on. I can't put my finger upon it. But why do they spend millions on advertising? And then people are getting money out of it, and then people are saving money out of it, and that makes sense, but the other part doesn't make sense, and then something's going on here. Where's all this money coming from? Where is Honey getting the money? Where's Honey getting all their money from?
But he wasn't finished with his predictions.
I have a feeling in like a couple years, there's gonna be the great Honey conspiracy of like 2022. And I don't know what it is.
But although his intentions were completely innocent, Markiplier would leave a chilling message for his viewers.
Listen, if I disappear like in the next few days, it was Honey. If I disappear in the future and then suddenly like Markiplier just mysteriously disappears, it was Honey. Because there's some shady shit happening.
However, since Honey had been endorsed by all your favorite influencers.
Do you have Honey installed? What's Honey?
Oh, no.
Honey.
Honey is a free browser extension.
Free browser extension.
And was raking in a fortune. Markiplier would be called crazy and paranoid. That is, until YouTuber Megalab would release a shocking video titled Exposing the Honey Influencer Scam.
Honey is a scam, and the majority of claims promoted by those influencers aren't even remotely true.
But it gets worse. Honey hasn't just been scamming you, the consumer, they've also been stealing money from influencers, including the very ones they paid to promote their product. And I'm not just talking about a few bucks here. I believe this scam has likely cost content creators millions of dollars. Sound crazy? Well, I didn't believe it at first either, until I experienced it myself firsthand. In fact, I'm confident this might just be the biggest influencer scam of all time. Which is insane, considering Honey is owned and run by PayPal, who purchased this company for $4 billion.
With undeniable proof that he had been right all along, Markiplier would then upload another revolutionary video.
I knew there was something shady. I knew it because it didn't smell right. A lot of other YouTubers that I talked to were saying like I'm crazy and paranoid, but it didn't make sense because where does the money come from?
Not only is he the king of Five Nights at Freddy's, he's also the king of predicting a scam when others were blinded by it. Genuinely respect him for having morals and not accepting the sponsor because he felt it was iffy. But while Markiplier's prediction turned out to be shockingly accurate, Sunny V2 would face a wave of hate after refusing to bow to cancel culture. On April 13th, 2023, drama YouTuber Sunny V2 would come under public scrutiny after releasing a video titled, "How will the Chris Tyson situation impact MrBeast?"
Jimmy has no option but to publicly express acceptance of Chris's transition, as silence or even worse, disapproval would come with obvious severe repercussions. However, in accepting Chris's transition, Jimmy implies that this will be the new normal within the content, thus annoying a different group of people, many of whom will never express their true feelings and may rather simply click on fewer MrBeast videos. If this is the case, Jimmy has no option but to accept this fate, as removing Chris from the videos in any kind of way could create an even more severe media firestorm.
This sparked a wave of backlash, not only from the internet, but also from MrBeast himself. Yeah, this is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare, he's my friend, and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off.
Absolute psychopathic behavior, bro. Have some shame and decency before you put out a video like this. You don't even know this person, dude. You parasocial freak lord? What the f?
I don't get it at all. This whole video, I mean, you could have just said, hey, I'm outwardly transphobic and I feel like I don't like when people take HRT.
But despite the immense criticism the video generated, Sunny V2 refused to apologize or back down from his initial stance until 2024, when Chris would be accused of inappropriate behavior with underage individuals. Proving him right, this prompted MrBeast to change his tone and set the record straight. Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. Surprise, surprise, Sunny V2 proved everyone wrong. He knew in the first place that Chris will negatively impact MrBeast's reputation, and now that Chris was exposed as a pedophile, MrBeast just got a major L for even protecting him. Sunny V2 taught me two things with this whole saga. Silence sometimes is the best answer, and a very powerful one at that. Time has the tendency to kill lies and let the truth be seen. Although Sunny V2 had the last laugh in the end, Jacksepticeye would find himself in hot water after his controversial comments about MrBeast. In 2023, Jacksepticeye would face immense backlash after his shocking response to a question about YouTuber MrBeast.
Do you like MrBeast? No. Jack. Oh! Do you think MrBeast ruined YouTube? Yes. Oh! Now, in all honesty, Jack, why? Because it became more about views, money, and popularity than it did about having fun.
Prompting MrBeast to immediately lash out. Sue, I ruined YouTube because I didn't buy a mansion and sports cars, and instead reinvested my money into making content and focused on doing good and inspiring kids to help people. This clip is insanely disrespectful in my opinion. And obviously, there is so much I could say about his content, but I'll just take the punches and be the bigger man. Since this happened when MrBeast was still riding high on widespread admiration, the internet tried to cancel Jack. MrBeast quality is higher than most can produce. This dude is emitting some real quitter and loser energy. Despite the situation, this controversy would eventually die down until September 2024, when MrBeast would announce that he was teaming up with Logan Paul and KSI to launch Lunchly, a healthier alternative to the well-loved Lunchables.
All right, we'll start off with the Lunchables.
Bro, I'm sorry, that's trash. All right, now we're trying Lunchly. Come on. We're not biased at all, but ours is way better.
Despite being marketed as a healthier alternative to Lunchables, Lunchley quickly came under fire when both consumers and content creators uncovered a major red flag.
And I usually don't make videos discussing creators' products, but when terms like healthier or better for you get tossed around, I feel it's important to set the record straight. They're often too high in sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars, and don't use healthy whole food ingredients. And because they fall into the category of ultra-processed foods, they aren't healthy to consume often, period.
This is molded. That's mold. This is not safe.
Following these allegations, MrBeast would try to set the record straight.
Every single Lunchley with cheese meat is USDA inspected. There is no mold when it leaves our factory. Like, we have the highest QC standards imaginable. Like, what do we have? Why would we ship that out? Like, that doesn't even make sense.
But the internet did not take this well. MrBeast ruined YouTube. His whole point of defeating T-Series was because it was a corporation. Now Mr. Sellout is a corporation. Looks like Jacksepticeye was right about MrBeast. In the end, Jacksepticeye's take on MrBeast aged like fine wine, much like investigative YouTuber CoffeeZilla, who would get hit with a lawsuit after exposing a shady crypto influencer scam. On December 17th, 2022, investigative YouTuber CoffeeZilla would release a gripping 3-part series titled Investigating Logan Paul's Biggest Scam.
How much did you guys make from CryptoZoo?
I lost around $50,000 in CryptoZoo.
I lost $40,000.
I lost around $15,000 US dollars.
I lost $25,000.
$120,000. $500,000 Australian, which is $500,000 in CryptoZoo.
Just as everyone expected, Logan Paul did not react to the criticism well, and released a now-deleted 30-minute video attacking CoffeeZilla.
CoffeeZilla tried to work with law enforcement in the past, but his work was described as not anchored to truth and often speculative. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, and he's nothing more than the Keemstar of crypto and finance. As soon as I knew the extent of the internal issues, took all of the heat on social, and you still published a defamatory hit piece, fully knowing I was innocent, just so you could enrich yourself in your $10 million studio. Sharp, but deeply unethical, dangerously misleading, and illegal. I suggest you use the money you got from pumping your Patreon to hire a good lawyer. You're gonna need it.
Trying to silence an investigative reporter is a massive sign that you've done some illegal shady ass shit. Logan seemed to realize that too, apologizing just a few days later.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego, flare, whatever it is.
Alongside a bold promise to refund every penny he owed.
I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million.
But a year later, it would be uncovered that this so-called refund had an outrageous condition attached to it.
Logan Paul is refunding people he scammed if they promise to stop suing him for the vastly larger amount he may owe them.
Understandably, this received a lot of backlash. Should not be a surprise, Logan Paul is a fake content creator, a fake entertainer, a fake boxer, and clearly a fake business guy. What did you expect? To this day, Logan Paul is yet to refund the victims of CryptoZoo. But if CoffeeZilla set out to prove that Logan Paul's true intentions had been to scam his followers all along, Toddy's bombshell revelation would be overshadowed by her desire for revenge. On May 10th, 2019, beauty influencer Toddy Westbrook would release a video accusing a then 19-year-old James Charles of predatory behavior.
You were talking in detail about things you wanted to do to the waiter. And when I said, James, he's straight, your response was, doesn't matter, I'm a celebrity. So freaking gross.
Although the allegations were shocking, fans were quick to point out that Toddy had only decided to come forward following James's public endorsement of Sugar Bear Hair, a competitor to her supplement brand, Halo Beauty. Toddy didn't have a problem with him trying to get a straight man to hook up with him, until he promoted Sugar Bear Hair. She didn't speak up until she felt betrayed. The final blow for Toddy, however, was when James released a 41-minute video revealing his own side of the story.
Sam and I talked for a very, very long time, and his sexuality, like I said, wavered a lot. Every time that he was a little bit confused, we had open and honest conversations about it, and he always asked me my input, and I gave it to him. I would never out somebody, and I have never, ever tried to manipulate somebody's sexuality, including his, point blank period.
But while the internet was convinced that it was all a long and elaborate lie by Toddy to ruin James's career, the truth would come to light just 2 years later when James Charles would find himself facing shocking accusations of predatory behavior from a 16-year-old aspiring YouTuber.
Trigger warning, I will be talking about grooming and James Charles, so if you get triggered by any of those, keep scrolling, but if not, watch this video, please. So last Wednesday on the 17th, James Charles snapped me on Snapchat. I was getting really uncomfortable, so I told him my age. I told him I'm 16. Meanwhile, he's 21. He's a grown man. And then he proceeds to say, oh, but I didn't even get to see the, meaning my body. And after telling him, like, no, like, I'm not gonna send it to you, he kept on asking for pictures and videos of body hair and me flexing and stuff.
As expected, James wasted no time and immediately fired back with a statement. The accusations that I have groomed this person are completely false. After false allegations like this in the past, I would never knowingly engage with anyone underage and put my life on the line for a few Snapchats. Because of situations like this, instead of taking someone's word for it, I will now ask to see the ID or passport of every guy I have a conversation with. This, however, didn't convince fans, though, forcing James to drop an apology video just days later.
First and foremost, I need to say sorry. I owe a massive apology to anybody that I've hurt or anybody that I've made uncomfortable with my actions.
But this time, no one was buying it. Now, if someone that wasn't famous did this, they would be put in prison. I believe Toddy did the right thing by exposing James's predatory behaviors. James should be kept behind bars, literally. The way I used to be one of his biggest fans. I couldn't look past the situation. He's honestly a bad person. Fortunately for Tati, this sickening revelation turned the tide of public opinion in her favor. But as for James Charles, his YouTube account has since been demonetized, making it yet another one of those situations where a YouTuber tried warning us, but we didn't listen.